Hi and welcome everyone. I am Friar Tuck, and this is this week's Ask Tuck. And for those of you that have been tuning in for the last few weeks, you know that I do this in collaboration with Homeless Entrepreneur. And there's some really big things that are happening with Homeless Entrepreneur that might make a program like this actually kind of go national. So you might want to check into it. Everything's down in the description as far as their website. And we're going to go ahead and get into the 3 questions that I ask. So the first question that I was asked is, how is dating when you are homeless? Now, is dating different when you're homeless? And I don't really know how to fully answer that question because I have dated being homeless, but there is some differences because it's primal. You're going to be around this person 24/7. It's part of the lifestyle. So if you can't hang around this person for 24/7 and they're going to annoy you, you probably don't want to be in some sort of relationship with them, which means that you're going to have to find somebody that you can get along with. But the thing is, just because you get along doesn't mean you're not going to pick at each other, you're not going to fight, you're not going to be irritated and stuff like that, because you're around each other 24/7. Sometimes each person gets on the other's nerves a little bit differently, but it's about how you settle your differences and how you are able to move on past that. So one of the things that I find that works really well for me is I try and take something and just kind of turn it into humor, and you get a more positive response because the person isn't taking it negative and stuff like that. But it really does require that you have a little bit of patience and a little bit of understanding with the person that you're going to be with, because you're going to be around them 24/7. So if you are going to date, you need to make sure that you're going to have someone that's going to get in the trenches with you, that has similar goals and aspirations as you, that you guys are wanting to move in the same direction. Because if they want things that are different than you, like let's say you're sober and they're not, or vice versa, one wants the dope, one wants stability. And is that really somebody that you want to be with? So you can actually vet those that you date within the homeless community, because you get to see them every day. You get to know each other. You always kind of start off with as acquaintances, and you get introduced to each other through different friend circles, and as you get to talk, you decide you like each other, that there's some chemistry there, and then you kind of build from there. And that's just kind of how dating works out here in the homeless world. And for a lot of people, they think, oh well, it moves really quick, but you're around once you've been around somebody or had so much interaction with somebody, it's much easier to make a decision versus, well, we're just going to periodically do it, kind of like how you do in the house community. So relationships and the moving into relationships generally happen a lot quicker in the homeless arena, just because you're around somebody 24/7. You're gonna get to know them real quick, because if they're a fake douchebag, essentially, you'll find out within a couple of days. It's kind of the way it works. But I hope this answers your question to whoever asked that question. So I was asked, who is my best friend and how hard is it to maintain friendships when you're homeless? And that's actually a really good question, because we want to make sure that we do have friends. Friends are very, very important. Now, my best friend is also my former business partner. Him and I keep contact with each other. He's been homeless before, so there's no like, oh, you're homeless. And also he knows me. We talk at least once a week or once every few weeks, because he's in Texas. Which for those of you that have been following my trip here to Arizona, I got to stop and see him in Texas, and we got to catch up. I hadn't seen him in 3 years, but we talk on the phone all the time. Is it hard to maintain friendships? Well, it just depends upon what type of person you are and what kind of friendship you have. Me and my buddy Paul, we sit back and we just talk on the phone for like about a half hour once a week. I catch up on him. I see how wife, kids, all his, everything's going with him. I tell him what's going on with me. We sit back and, shoot the breeze and talk about like off the wall things, because he has like little things that he likes to do, and I have little things that I like to do. And so we just sit back and we have a good old conversation. And quite frankly, for your friend, that if your friend is housed, that they may not really see it as a big deal. But if you're out here and you're homeless, having those friendships and maintaining those friendships are extremely important, because not only is that going to keep your sanity, it's going to help you get to a point where you like, if you're going down a fit of depression, just having that positive interaction might be what you need to turn you around, so that you can get up off the streets quicker, so that you could turn your attitude around to be able to accomplish the goals that you're trying to accomplish. So this is just something that you might want to consider. Like, if you're thinking about, how do I maintain friendships, the same way you do as a house individual. The thing is, it's who's the most important to you, what relationships are you going to develop. I have relationships with some of my subscribers that are like true friendships, and it's not about money, it's not about things that they do, it's just the fact that they are true friends. And those are the people that I always make sure to communicate with first, before I ever come out here on YouTube and say anything. So these people are the people that know more about what's going on with me, and they're very important to me in a lot of different ways, because it helps me keep my sanity. If I need incentive to stay sober or not to do something stupid, well, you know what, that's what friends are for, is to be that motivation to be able to keep you from doing that. And I don't want to disappoint my friends, and I value my friends enough that I don't want to tarnish my character, for a quick gain that's just going to have more consequences than benefits. But I hope that answers your question. Okay, so I was asked as the third and final question, which is, how important is family for you? Um, you know, Family is important. Just because family's family. I don't really know how to answer that question, because I've never really had a very good relationship with my family. My old man and we keep contact, because in the same way that I want my son to be able to keep contact with me, I keep contact with my father. And because you get what you give. And regardless of how I feel, regardless of the differences we have, we still maintain a positive relationship. And it's important, because not only that, it becomes an example for my son. If he does ever come to find me, that it'll be an example for my son to be able to be able to see that. But family is as important as you want it to be. For me, it's not that big of a deal, but it is, because family knows who you are, at the core, because they got to watch you from birth to now. Okay, and so if you've got a good character and you're a decent human being and you're not a shitbag, well, those relationships with your family are going to be very, very important, because your family knows that you're not just some shitbag trying to, scam the system or whatever. They see that you're actually trying to make positive strides, and they can sign on to that, even if it's taking you a while. And that's kind of where the importance of family comes in. I mean, I think that's the best way to answer that. Thank you for watching today. I hope that this was valuable for you. I hope that this answered some of the burning questions that you might have had about homelessness. Now, if you want to help the channel, share the video, leave a comment, tell me what you think. If you have any other questions, please let me know. Also, I am supported through crowdfunding and memberships. If you are over on Patreon, get one of either the $5, $10, or $20 membership. You get to follow some of the behind the scenes in my life now that I am housed. I finally recently gotten housed within the last week. And so if you want to follow my journey there, you're going to kind of have to come on over to Patreon for that. And I will see you guys in the next video.